Welcome back to the channel, the Hunter 2323. Today we are powering and winding the bobbin and doing our first test sew on the Cobra 4 class 4 machine, the Cobra 4. So the first thing is you want to make sure you've got a bobbin wound. So I've got to do that first. In order to do that, I've got to turn the machine on and get things powered up. So I plugged it in. That I'm using a 3-prong outlet. That's essential. And then once it's powered up, then things start to work. Here is my LED light, workspace light. And then I'm going to power up the motor, the servo controller. And so it comes on and it begins doing its job. Now I'm going to wind the bobbin, and the bobbin winding is you come through the right-hand side thread tree guide hole, and then out to the tensioner for the bobbin. You come through the tensioner and around through the plates. Pull it tight, and then through the output hole, and then get all your slack out of there. Now you're going to go down through this bobbin line, bobbin thread alignment. This alignment should be, well, there goes my bobbin. Good grief. Put in a plastic floor and everything rolls wherever you don't want it to go. Okay, so your bobbin is going to sit on this pin right here. And so I'm going to put it on there just for a show. There it is. This little hole has a pin. There's a pin here. There it is right there. And the hole here is going to go into that pin, or on it. And then the bobbin is going to just sit there nice and snug. Now, one of the things that they tell you to put this bobbin line, bobbin thread pointed at the middle of the bobbin. So the way I'm doing that is I'm putting this ruler and I'm getting it parallel to the tool, and it's right over, the center of it is right over that bobbin thread, and it's at the center of the bobbin. So that tells me I'm just about where I want to be, and I'm happy with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is run my bobbin thread through. Wow, I am not watching the camera very well. Through the bobbin thread, and then it can get caught up. Just now it got caught up like that. I don't want that. And then I'm going to bring the bobbin thread out through the hole in the front. I'm going to pull it tight, and that didn't stay on there like I wanted. Okay, it's on there. Now I've got a hold of it. Now, I'm going to put the bobbin fill latch. I have no idea what they call this thing. But I'm going to put it down, and that's going to keep the bobbin from coming out into my hand, which is what was just happening. Okay, so now I've got my pressure foot up because I don't want metal to metal while I'm winding the bobbin. I also, I don't think I want my setup thread that came with the tool to be in the machine. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to open my bobbin cavity, which is a slight 1/16 of a turn counterclockwise. Notice that my bobbin cavity is pointed down, and I'm going to roll my hand wheel, and the bobbin's going to come up, and I'm going to, there's a little latch right here. Wow, my lighting's not real good. That's better. So there's a little latch right here. You push that latch and the bobbin pops out. So there is my, comes with the tool, spool of thread. Now I'm going to change that and to the new bobbin. So I'm going to push this back in. I have the foot latched up, and I'm going to press the pedal, and let's just say right out of the box, I'm hoping that this does what I think it's going to do. So here we go. I'm going to push down. There it goes. There goes my bobbin. I didn't hold it, so it came loose. So I'm going to have to start that over. I'm going to put this camera up on the stand. I think that's going to do it. So I should have hung on to the thread. I did not. This thing is, it's difficult to hang on to. I do feel like I have machine thread on my hands, but so I'm going to hold on to it with a good grip, and now I'm going to, and I see the thread making its way down the shaft of the bobbin. I'm noting that I'm not getting, my thread's moving, my needle is moving, but I'm not making mechanical contact. Okay, so now it comes back to the front, and it's going to wind over the start that I have. So I'm going to let it up, and I'm going to snip it off. Okay, so now I'm going to continue winding until I fill the bobbin, and the bobbin fill is snaps up. And you can see that my thread is coming up off the spool without getting knotted up. Okay, so once the bobbin winder switch, mechanical switch, opens up, then the spool drive stops turning. So now you can hold the thread with your fingers and give it a snip, and there you have a bobbin, my first bobbin. And I can go, let's see, I believe I'm going to touch the toe, and it went down. I'm going to touch the heel, and it went up. So when I touch the heel of my machine, left hand pedal, it moves the needle up and it gets the bobbin spool holder in the right position. So now I reach down. Can you see me? Wow, that's pretty hard to see. And let's see if we can't improve. Improve my camera angle here. Okay, so that's not quite it either. I guess I had it about right. Okay, so now you can see the bobbin cavity is aligned up at an angle, and then there's a little switch right here, and I'm going to click it, and the bobbin spool holder case is going to pop out. I'm going to put this thread on with it coming counterclockwise and towards me. I'm going to put that in the spool holder, and then it goes down in a little groove right here. That's a little hard to see. And there it is in place. And now the bobbin's on a spring. And you're definitely going to want to make sure that you hold it in as you press this up. And then when the bobbin's in place, the next thing to do now is to thread the machine. So I'll put I'm going to leave that open for now. Leave the bobbin cover off, and we'll swing the machine around, and we'll do my first alignment and threading of the machine, and we'll see how much I remember. So I'm going to take out, in a sense, noting where things go. Here's where the thread comes down through the holder here to the needle. I'm going to pull it out of this. Wow, I don't know what to call these things. This goes up and down and allows for the thread to have room for the bobbin, for the thread engager to grab a hold of it. And then I'm going to pull it out of this one. Wow, where's the little, there it is. And then it's one time around in there, or maybe it is two. It's once. It is twice in there. And then thread comes out of there. And then it goes up to the tensioner. I got a lot of extra thread here because of the way the machine came set up. So I'm going to undo it. There's once. It's twice in there. And then it comes out of this thread hole, and from there it comes up from this thread tree. So I'm going to undo all of this red thread which, you know, at some point in the future I might want to use this, so I'm going to save it. This is a little bit about money. The machine was $4,200, and including shipping, and so I'm going to take advantage of everything I can in terms of recouping my cost of ownership. Okay, so there's my thread. I'm going to do something with this. I'm not sure what at this point, but it's still relatively untangled and unknotted, so it's still capable of being recycled. Okay, so now I have my brown 138, which is my thread of choice. I pull it out of my bobbin winder, and I'm going to go through my thread tree up here on top of the machine. I'm going to go through so it just feeds right straight to, actually, the way they do it on most of the videos is they put it through the first hole on the thread tree up here, the thread guide. Then they go through the bottom one up here on top. And then it goes through the first eye, and I got it wrong. There we go. And then it goes around this twice. 1, 2, and then it goes down into the second. I'm trying to figure out how to get that in there. Nope. So I must go this way. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it through by hand until I figure these all out real good. So, of course, I've got lots of extra thread running around because I'm not an expert. And then notice that it's going to catch on this guide up here. I really do not want that. And so that's why this little thread tree is on top, to keep the thread up on the center of the machine. Okay, so now I'm going to go around once and twice. And when I come out, I'm going to go through this other thread keeper like that. I notice I still have two times around. I'm going to go through the thread lifter, or whatever it's called, making sure that nothing gets tightened up. I'm going to come down through this thread keeper, which I think, although I have not looked it up, the purpose of this thread keeper is to keep the thread coming down towards the needle. And then there's a hole up here. Let's see if I can do this. And it did. Okay, it worked. Okay, so then it comes down here, and I'm going to go through towards the neck of the machine, through the needle. After all of this, notice that my bonded thread has still maintained a pretty sharp end. That's an advantage. So I'm going to poke it through the needle. No, I haven't done anything with the needle yet. So this is how it came set up. So I'm through the needle, and then my bobbin line is hanging down, and I'm going to go through my foot. I'm going to hold on to it, and I'm going to press the up button, and then the down. And notice that my bobbin line thread comes out with it. I think it went around one too many times. But there's my two pieces, almost the same length, which is perfect. Now I'm going to replace, there's two alignment pins on here. They go here and here, so it's kind of at an angle. And I put them on there, and then I'm going to turn it just clockwise a small amount. and it's going to click into place. And that is holding my bobbin and everything, and dust free and all the rest. So that is the power up, the bobbin winding, and then the threading of a Cobra 4. And this may not be the, you know, the it's not the Van Plu, but it is mine. So that's how I'm doing it for now. And I got a couple of projects here to work on. But I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you checking in on the channel. And we are always thankful for everyone who likes and everyone who subscribes. So thank you for doing that. And we appreciate all the people who have made great and wonderful comments for us. And people accepted, lives changed.